The captain fell asleep at 10,000 meters, but when he woke up he sensed danger. The plane had not only reached the Pacific Ocean, and it's running out of fuel, but what's worse, when he extrapolated the coordinates, he realized they were far off course. But the captain was afraid to tell his two teammates. He had to ask the base tower for help. Unexpectedly, a Japanese voice was heard. Frightened, they hurriedly turned off the radio. Then they switched to communicating in Morse code. And currently before the fuel is completely exhausted, try to reduce the weight to lower the consumption. So the bombardier dropped his bombs into the sea. Then the captain searched for coordinates to turn around. After 10 minutes in the sky, they tried to retransmit the radio, but there was no answer. They were running out of fuel. It's a critical situation. The captain arranged for the men to take their survival kits. Then they made an emergency landing in the Pacific. The plane successfully landed on the surface of the sea, but the impact caused severe damage to the cabin. The sea is pouring in. The captain didn't dare to delay and escaped immediately. He stood on the wing and opened the life raft, but Will's seatbelt was stuck. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get it off. Soon he and the plane sank into the water. When the captain reacted, he realized the plane was gone. Luckily, Will was able to free himself before he suffocated, but before they could get to their life packs, the plane sank quickly. Just after swimming to the surface, the life raft was toppled by the captain. They worked together to flip the raft over. The space was too small. They lay down horizontally and squeezed together, but they could never have imagined will experience a life worse than death. The sea is very cold at night, coupled with their soaked clothes. The three men were shivering, and all they could do was hug their arms for warmth. Despite the fact that they were in a life and death situation, Will and Mike slept through the night. They even played a game. They were optimistic that a rescue team would come for them. The captain, however, stayed up all night looking out to sea, afraid of missing any chance to call for help. However, just when they were about to despair, Mike suddenly saw a small black dot. As the black dot got bigger and bigger, they realized it was one of their own. The guys were so excited, they thought they could finally be saved, so they were waving their clothes around and shouting at the top of their lungs, trying to get the plane's attention. But the next moment, not only did the plane not notice them, it turned around and left. They watched the plane go further and further away in despair. They then realized that without food and water, how to survive in the Pacific Ocean. It became a big problem again. After the captain calmed down a bit, he arranged for an inventory of all the supplies. There was a pistol, 2 magazines, and a knife, and a 25-foot-long nylon rope. The rest was inedible. And what's worse, the life raft was made in 1937, and so they starved themselves into the night. In the middle of the ocean, they drifted aimlessly. By now, the captain was thirsty, so he took his shoe and got a glass of homemade beer.